How do you get business credit? Most importantly, how do you get business credit without a personal guarantee, without a personal credit check, without supplying collateral, and with no revenue verification? Well, that's exactly what I'm going to map out today during this training. I'm going to teach you what business credit is, how it works, the benefits it provides, and map out the exact steps to actually get it. As a matter of fact, at the end of this training, I'm actually going to get you access to a downloadable guide that maps out the steps, specifically gives you the vendors, everything you need to know to succeed. So we got a lot to cover to be able to teach you how to get business credit. So let's dive in. So when we talk about business credit, we're talking about credit for your EIN that's not linked to your personal social security number. A lot of benefits that business credit provides, where it's basically the only legal way to really create two credit profiles and scores. We've got our personal credit, and then we've got our business credit. Now, business credit's basically credit established with the three major business credit reporting agencies, Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, Experian. And by doing this, well, there's a heck of a lot of benefits. First of all, per SBA, the limits on business credit cards are 10 to 100 times higher than consumer credit cards. As a matter of fact, a lot of our clients get $10,000 to $20,000 limits 30 days in to the business credit building process, and months in, they end up with $30,000 to $50,000 limits on individual cards. So because of that, business credit can really be used to fund your business, even without getting loans, without getting credit lines, without qualifying for any other kind of funding. Business credit typically could pay for about 90% or more of whatever it is that you need to borrow money to actually be able to buy. Plus, just by building your business credit profile and score, you become more lendable. Lenders and credit issuers use business credit profiles and scores for three reasons. First of all, to determine if you should be approved or denied. Secondly, to determine how much money you should actually be approved for. And thirdly, to determine the rates and terms you should actually pay. So business credit's crucial to getting more approvals, higher approval amounts, and better terms, meaning more affordable payments. Now, it's not just that though. Your business credit reports and scores are publicly accessible. I mean, anybody that wants them can get them. Your prospects, your clients, your competitors, potential investors in your company, those that may want to actually buy your company, credit issuers, lenders, insurance companies, you get the idea. So business credit becomes our credibility. It becomes our reputation. We want to build business credit because that's how the world sees us, and the world can see how we're managing our credit profile and score and how likely we are to continue to pay people on time. So we don't want to show that we aren't responsible to our competitors, for example, our prospects or our clients. So we need to make sure that we're building business credit for all of these reasons. But probably one of the most important reasons that I love business credit, twofold. First of all, one is you can get business credit when you just can't get any other kind of financing. It doesn't require cash flow verification or good credit or collateral. So anybody can get this. Even from launching a business, you can get the money you need through business credit to be able to fund that business. It literally gives you a path for your business to fund itself using the credit profile that you're establishing. But the other reason that I love business credit is it's really the key to getting optimal financing, the best money, the best terms, no personal guarantees, no personal credit checks, the kind of money that as a business owner we really want to get. So now that you know a little bit more about business credit, what it is, how it works, the benefit it provides, the next question is how the heck do you get it? Well, it's broken down into steps, and let's get started with step one. Step one is you have to have a business set up. And the business has to be credible. It has to be legitimate. It has to be a business that lenders and or credit issuers want to give you money for. Now, we call this lendability, fundability, bankability. It goes by a lot of different terms, but the idea is the same. What are lenders looking for? Let's structure our business to meet those criteria. So we want to have an entity set up, preferably an LLC or a corporation. We need to have an EIN. Business credit profile is linked to your EIN, so that means you have to have an EIN to be able to link it. You could actually be a sole proprietor and not have an EIN. We don't want that to happen. We don't want to be a sole proprietor, and we don't want to not have an EIN. So we want to have an LLC and or a corporation, and we also want to make sure that we have an EIN set up. We want to have a separate address for our business as well. That is not our home address. That is not a virtual mailbox or a PO box. If you don't have a real location, you can go get a virtual office, for example, from a place like Alliance Virtual Offices. That makes it look like you have an office in a big high-rise building, even when you don't necessarily have one. Okay, you also want to make sure you have a separate phone number for the business. It should be toll-free. You should go and take a step of getting it listed on online directories as well. You're going to need a professional website and an email address that's like congruent with the domain of the website. My email, info@creditsuite.com. My domain, creditsuite.com. You want to stay away from AOL and Gmail type of email addresses as well. Bonus points here if you get a license for your business, and bonus points if you set up a business bank account. As a matter of fact, a lot of credit issuers are going to ask you if you have a bank reference, which you wouldn't have if you don't have a business bank account set up. So make sure you take those steps as well. Now, once you've done this, you want to make sure that all that information, your business name, your address, your phone number, is congruent online. More than half of all applications for credit and financing are denied because of this one reason. The lender's computers are trying to validate that your business is real and that it's not a fraudulent application. And then they can't validate it because what you're putting on the application doesn't match Secretary of State and all these places they're finding your business online. It all needs to match exactly. Now, if you've done those things, well, then congratulations, you've completed step one. If you're not heeding my advice and you've ignored any of these things, well, then you're going to have problems as we continue through the next steps. Anytime you try to get a credit line, a loan, or a credit card, you are going to struggle if your business does not match those fundability factors. So you've got to make sure you do that. You only have to do it once. But if you don't do it, you'll get some approvals and a lot of denials, and the approvals you get won't be favorable terms. So we want to get you the most money at the best terms, and that is by setting up your business where it's fundable, which is step one. Now that we've done that, it's step two. And step two is about building initial business credit. Now, a few different ways to do this. First way is that we use what are called starter vendors. And this is a really easy path to build business credit because it doesn't require personal guarantees or credit checks or cash flow or collateral. Like, this is just a path anybody can take. Some starter vendors that I really like include Uline and Granger. Those are two of my overall favorites. And CEO Creative isn't a bad one either. Okay, and you get about 3 to 5 of these accounts to move to the next step of the process. Now, the second way we can build initial credit is through a program called Credit Line Hybrid. You can access it right now. Write this down at creditsuite.com/CLH. Now, with this program, you're getting $50,000 to $150,000 in real available universal cash credit cards that you can use like anywhere that Visa, MasterCard are accepted. Okay, now you can get this even as a startup business. It's no doc. So this is some of the easiest money to get, but the catch is you need to have good personal credit to get approved. 680 plus FICO score to get most of the credit cards with a Credit Line Hybrid program. If you have that, you could typically get upwards of 5 times or more of whatever the highest revolving credit card limit you have on your personal credit report right now. So again, you can get that at creditsuite.com/CLH. The benefit here is some of these cards report to the business credit reporting agency. So you're kind of jump starting your business credit profile because you're starting it with high limit revolving credit lines and cards, which is a really cool way to go. But again, you've got to use good credit for yourself or a guarantor, somebody else, in order to get approved. And the third way that you're able to build initial business credit is only with Dun & Bradstreet, but they have it called their Credit Insights Plus product. Now, this could be $1,500 or it could be $150 a month, depending on how you want to pay. And D&B lets you actually add accounts you already have to your business credit reports. So this gives you a quick way to be able to build initial credit with Dun & Bradstreet using accounts you already have, just getting them onto your business credit reports when they're not reported, which is a big deal because like 90% of trade vendors don't report the credit they give you to a business credit reporting agency. So by using this program, we're able to take credit that's not reporting and get it reported, and that will help you build initial business credit as well. Heed my warning here. Even if you do this, you still need to focus on building initial credit with Equifax or Experian using one of the other 2 methods that I provided. But now you have 3 different paths to accomplish step 2, which is building initial credit. Now, step 3, we want to monitor our business credit reports and scores, and here's why. Building business credit is all about having enough accounts on our credit report to get approved for the source that we're applying for. Now, we have developed a system called Tier, T-I-E-R, a tiering system to be able to figure this out for our clients. So our clients, we tell them what tier they're in and all the credit they can get. But if you're not using a system like our fundability system or our software to build your business credit, it's a little bit of trial and error. But I can tell you that some accounts like Home Depot might require 5 accounts to get approved, but Lowe's requires 8 accounts to get approved. So that would mean if I have 5 accounts on my business credit reports, I can get Home Depot, but I can't get Lowe's. And that's how that tiering system works. So in order to move through the stages of building business credit, we absolutely have to know how many accounts we have on our business credit reports. It's necessary. So the cheapest and easiest way to be able to do this is go to creditsuite.com/ monitoring. Now, if you go to creditsuite.com/monitoring, you can get a solution that's like typically under $60. You can be able to, a month, to be able to monitor your business credit reports. You can access your consumer credit reports, your business credit reports, but here's the best part. Through this, you also get 2 trade lines on your business credit reports. So just by monitoring your reports, you're actually getting 2 trade lines right out the gate. That's pretty cool. So go to creditsuite.com/monitoring to get access to those reports. Now, if you don't want to do that, you can go to the bureaus direct, but if you go to Experian, Equifax, and Dun & Bradstreet direct, keep in mind it can be upwards of $200 to $300 a month to get those reports from the bureaus direct. And Equifax currently isn't even getting you access to credit monitoring. That's why creditsuite.com/monitoring is the easiest, fast path and cheapest path to actually go. Now, once we've done this, now we see these initial accounts using one of those 3 methods showing on our business credit reports. When we have about 5 of these accounts reporting, then we want to move on to the next tier of business credit building, and that is basically retail credit tier. The retail credit tier is where we're getting credit with like almost all major retailers, right? Home Depot, Lowe's, Sam's Club, Costco, Best Buy, John Deere for that matter, even Macy's and Nordstrom offer this kind of corporate credit. We're typically able to get $10,000 to $50,000 approvals at like almost every major retail store. Now, the nice thing is that almost anything we need to buy, we can buy at one of these stores like Amazon or Walmart, right? So that actually, this stage, we can get about 90% of the money that we need to actually grow our business. And we can do this about 30 to 60 days in to the business credit building process. Pretty cool, right? So now at this stage, we continue to get more accounts on our business credit reports. When we have about 8 accounts, we're able to get a lot of fleet credit cards, fuel, repair, maintenance of vehicles without guarantees and credit checks. And when we get about 14 accounts total on our business credit reports, we've built our business credit to the greatest extent that we really need to open up all of the tiers for us. Now we can get Universal cards, Visa cards, MasterCards, Amex cards. Now we're able to come in and we're actually able to get auto financing. And we're able to get all of this without personal guarantees and without personal credit checks. So there you have it. What business credit is, the benefits, the exact steps to succeed. If you want more info, even including more starter vendors to launch with, grab our free step-by-step guide at creditsuite.com/EIN, creditsuite.com/EIN. That thing's been downloaded over 1 million times, 1 million. So let's just say it's like the business credit Bible. It maps out everything you need to know to successfully build your business credit. Whew. No breaks here, no editing. This is how we roll. So hopefully you got a lot of value from this. And if so, make sure you smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe and keep your eye out for our next training on more cool ways to get the money you need to start and grow your business.